everybody, it's Frances from Dolphin Chick Nails, and I have a nail art collaboration video for you today. I was asked by the lovely and sweet Judenka Nail Art to get with her and a bunch of wonderful ladies and do Christmas sweater nails, ugly Christmas sweater nails. And I thought, well, that's awesome. I can't wait. And then I realized I don't have any Christmas sweater patterns, stamping patterns. And I thought, oh, how hard could this be? I could figure something out. I should have stopped there. That should have been my clue right there, that this was not going to go well. So instead of doing a regular nail art or Christmas nail or sweater, Christmas sweater nail, I decided I'm going to think out of the box and I'm going to do a Star Wars pattern. I've seen a lot of Star Wars ugly sweaters around. Rogue One is coming out, or actually as I'm filming this it has come out, and I have some patterns, some Star Wars patterns, so hey, Christmas sweaters, ugly Christmas sweater Star Wars pattern. No problem, should be easy. Nope. So I invite you to watch the rest of this video if you are a fan of nail art and Murphy's Law going hand in hand. You're gonna love this video. If you're a little bit of a sadist and like to watch people suffer while they're doing nail art, you are in for a treat. This could be a long one, I'm warning you, so grab something to eat, grab something to drink. I probably should have grabbed a little something to drink while I was doing this, because everything that could go wrong kind of went wrong. But I'm sure that the other lovely ladies in this collaboration have much more successful videos than this, much more successful designs than this. And I will link all of their information below, and please go check them out and give them some love. And if you are coming to me from one of their videos, welcome, and I am super sorry. But if you'd like to see how I got these, and let me zoom in a little bit so you can see, if you'd like to see how I got these Star Wars ugly sweater nails and to watch me suffer just a little bit, just keep watching.
Okay, I'm starting off with a peel off base coat because this is a textured polish. Putting 2 coats on and it is really difficult to remove, so I'm hoping to be able to peel this sucker right off. I'm gonna add a top coat. I'm gonna add a top coat. The first thing I'm gonna do is create a decal. This is a Stampholic plate, and I will list it below to show you which number it is. And I've got him there, and I'm going to remove the excess that I don't want on there. This gift card is not working to do that, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my lint roller. And now I'm going to fill him in with the Sinful Colors. I think this is Copper Pot. Again, I'll list it below. I'm going to fill him in. I think I ended up using 2 coats to cover Chewy. Okay, now I'm going to add striping tape because I want to make some stripes on this. Now, I am convinced that striping tape is the tool of the devil. I have such a hard time with this, and you're going to watch me struggle putting this tape on and getting it to stay. So I want to make 2 stripes across my nail here, and first of all, getting it to stick on, come on, is proving to be quite a bit of a challenge. And I think this is for a couple of reasons. One, I have this tape, the striping tape, on a spool, and it's been stuck on something for a little bit, so I'm wondering if the sticky is not there. That needs to be there. And also this textured polish, even though I have a top coat on it, it's very textured, and it's having a hard time, I think, adhering to the texture. And here I am, I finally got the first 2 on, and now it's getting a little bit easier at this point. Come on. Stick on. And I don't know if you can see, but the first one that I put on is actually starting to come up again. And I'm struggling. You should have heard me when I was doing this. I had music on, so I gotta do a voiceover, but there was some cursing going on here. And yep, that one came up. So I gotta get it back down again. Okay, so this first polish is Essie She's Pampered, and I'm going ahead and adding it on with the brush that comes with the polish, and either this is Brave or Stupid, and I think that's like the running idea through this whole process, if I was either Brave or Stupid. I'm going to take these off because I don't want it to dry with the striping tape on there, because then I risk it pulling up the tape. And if you notice there, I actually pulled up a little piece of the textured polish, and I'm going to, luckily there's 2 coats, so I'm just going to pull a piece off of it. And now I'm going to come in with Sally Hansen Insta-Dry, and this is Eye Rush, and again, I'm going to list it below. And again, I'm going in with the brush from the polish. And I will pull this up as well so that it does not dry. And these came off actually pretty easily. And I sped this up, but I'm taking some acetone and a cleanup brush and just cleaning up around the edges. And I decided to do the same process on my pinky, and I cut that out so that you guys wouldn't have to watch me do that process all over again, but I'm doing one single stripe on my pinky since it is a smaller nail. And pulling up the tape here, and then I will clean off around the edges, but I also not going to make you watch that either. Okay, now I'm adding liquid latex because I'm going to stamp on top of this, and I only want the stamping to come out on the stripes. So I'm adding the liquid latex to keep the stamping from going on the white. I've never done this before, so this is my first attempt at this, and I need to get this latex all the way around because it could be a really messy process. And I'm going to add all around on my skin, as well as the areas that I don't want the stamping to adhere to on my actual nail. And then this liquid latex dries pretty quickly. I'm going to go ahead and do off camera, I'm going to go ahead and do my pinky as well, because I only want the stamping to go on that green stripe in the middle of my pinky. But we have to let this dry first. This actually dries pretty quickly. If you notice around my cuticle area, it's darkening up. That means that area is already dry. Okay, and this finger is pretty much covered, although you'll see later that I probably should have covered way further up. And here I go. My pinky is done. And both I'm just going to let them dry. And while I do that, I'm testing Chewy, and he seems dry, so I'm going to add a clear coat to him so I can pull that decal right off the top of that stamper. And that is a Winstonia stamper with a replacement head. I bought the pack of replacement heads. I will link that below for you if you're interested. Okay, and this is a image also off a Stampholic plate. And I'm using a clear stamper because I want to place those Stormtrooper helmets on the stripes that I've created on my nail. And I got that on the first try. And here I am placing it on. And then I'm going to zoom you in so that you can see me remove this latex, and hopefully it will come off only in the places that the latex is placed. And actually this came up pretty smoothly. I was impressed because I was a little scared, never having done this before. Now this tip part did not want to come off. It's kind of adhering to the texture, and I actually had to work off camera to take a little bit of the flakies off of there. And I'm going to use my finger. Oh, I'm trying to take a flaky off. And it doesn't want to come off. Come on. And I'm going to use my finger just to pat down the stamping so that when I add my top coat, then nothing will come up. Okay, so now I want to do a stamp for my pinky as well, and I want to get that Darth Vader helmet on there. And here I go, and it is, you can't really tell, but it is messy, messy, messy. It came out kind of blurry. And then I did another one, and that's not going to work. It was missing patches. I didn't show the camera, but it's missing patches. And then another one, and another one, and another one. I probably did this about 20 times, and if you notice, there's like a film on this stamping plate as I'm cleaning it off, and I'm using Mundo de Uñas. They're white, and I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but it almost seemed like there was a film on the stamping plate. I don't know whether it's acetone I'm using, the cotton balls are bad, but I tried many times, so I finally switched to the Winstonia. It's a little bit stickier, and I finally got something that I was willing to use. And it's still not in good shape. If you look, there's pieces missing. But I want to add some black, and this is Funky Fingers Dark Knight, and I'm going to add that to the Darth Vader helmet because I really want that Darth Vader to show up on my pinky. Okay, so my decal is ready, and I'm going to peel it off with some tweezers. And I'm taking a look at it, and it looks good, and I'm going to place it on my ring finger. Now my pinky is way shorter than my ring finger, so I really can't use that to put it down, so getting the placement on there was a little bit fun. But I finally got it placed in a spot where I wanted, and in hindsight I probably should have put it a little further down because I'm going to add to this decal after the fact. And I am going to struggle here a little bit to get the excess off. I probably should get one of those cuticle things that almost looks like a little knife so that I can cut off the excess from these things, but I pulled off the edge there, and I am going to kind of use the sharp end of that tweezer to try and peel off the excess. And I'm struggling again. And struggling some more. But I think that the decal really did come out cute. I like that copper pot with. I didn't even tell you the stamping polish I used for that was Mundo de Uñas chocolate. And I'm using acetone again to clean up the edges. Really, it was not a mess at all. And Chewy's good. Now I'm going in for Yoda. This is another Stampholic plate. I believe it's the same one with the stormtroopers on it. And I'm going to pick up that Yoda. And I'm going to use the Yoda image. This time I'm going to clean up around it. So stamp it directly on my ring finger. And I'm also using the TIE Fighter image, and I didn't show you, but the Rebel image went on my thumb. Now I am using Mundo de Uñas Reddish, and this is a Bundle Monster plate, the Bundle Monster Magically Polished collaboration plate, and my stamping day is terrible. I had a hard time getting a really good image here too. And I struggled with this one. It didn't want to scrape right. I'm trying to only get part of the image, just that one jagged part and one line, and it's not working for me. And it's just, I'm missing pieces. Things are not going right for me. It's a terrible stamping day. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that off again. And try again. I'm cleaning off the card that I'm using for scraping. It's just an old gift card because sometimes if the polish builds up on that, it makes it hard to get a good scrape. And then scraping again. And I finally get, if you notice, it's part of an image. But at this point, it's like the girl who can't get a prom date, and I'm just going to go with anybody who asks me. So I'm adding lines to my thumb, my pinky, and not my pinky, I'm sorry, my thumb and my index finger at this point. Red and green stripes because I thought they looked like Christmas sweaters. Okay, now my other decal's ready, and I pulled it off camera because you've seen me pull off a decal already. And I'm cutting the excess because I only want that small stripe with the Darth Vader part to end up on that green stripe that's on my pinky. So I'm removing the excess here, and I want to place this decal on my nail. And now I'm starting to wonder how I'm going to get the decal to adhere to the paint and stay when I pull off this liquid latex. And I'm wondering. I'm trying to remove the excess from the side and trying to stick it on to the green stripe the best that I can. And I'm going to cut off the excess and see if that makes a difference. And I'm struggling again. It does not want to stick to the green. It wants to stick more to the latex than to the green. And I'm trying to remove the latex that I can see that's on, not the latex, the decal that's on the latex. I'm trying to remove that with my nail from the other part of the decal, and now I'm going to pull off the latex, and all the latex comes off, but the decal stays. So at this point, it's been over an hour, and I'm like, screw it, I'm done. And I just ended up adding stripes to that nail. Now I think Chewy needs a Santa hat. So I'm using, I think this is a Sally Hansen, and I'll link it below. It's a striper polish. So it's the polish with the striping brush inside of it, and I'm just adding a Santa hat to Chewy. And I'm making a triangle. I'm sorry, it's just hard to paint in the opposite direction, but I'm going to turn them over so you can see it's just a triangle. It doesn't look like much now, but I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to come in with a piece of just masking tape to remove the excess stamping. This Mundo de Unas polish, really, the stamping will come off nicely most of the time using a piece of tape, and it makes your cleanup a lot easier than having to drag acetone around your nail, or at least a lot of acetone. I did need to come up with a little acetone later, but not as much as I would have before. So I'm just pulling it up on all the other nails while I'm letting that Santa hat dry. And when I get the majority of it up, I'll go in and check and see if my Santa hat is dry. I'm going to remove the excess from my thumb. And I'm adding some white polish to my mat. And I'm going to come in with a dotting tool, and I'm going to add some smaller dots right around the rim of the hat to make it look like the white fuzz on a Santa hat. And this was actually a fairly easy process. And I'm going to add that white tip at the top. And there you go. That's done. Okay, and I'm going to add a clear coat just to seal in the stamping. And the stamping polish tends to dry kind of matte. So I want to add a gloss to it. I'm going to add clear, not clear. I'm going to add top coat to every nail except for Chewy because I still want that red to dry.
Okay, so here is my final look, all cleaned up and top coated, and I put cuticle oil on because I was up to my elbows in acetone. Despite the struggle that I went through to get this done, I actually think it came out kind of cute. It's either that or I'm high on nail polish fumes and acetone, but I really do kind of like the outcome. And I was, I don't know, crazy enough or brave enough, you decide, to actually do my other hand. Now my other hand didn't come out quite as great because it's my non-dominant, or it's my dominant hand. But, so let me know what you think. If you like what you saw, give me a like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.